Yes. Good evening, good morning. So today we're going to look at explainable strategy predictive modeling of antimicrobial resistance and uncomplicated urinary tract infections using deep learning techniques. This is being presented to you by Daphne, and that is me. I'm a student at Macquarie University and I'm taking a master's in computer science. So our content and presentation are going to follow this layout. I'm going to have an introduction, a problem statement, our research objectives, research contributions, methodology, and then the dataset description. So for our introduction, remember we're looking at urinary tract infections. So urinary tract infections, we have two types of UTIs. We have the uncomplicated and we have the complicated. So the uncomplicated is when the infection extends from the bladder, and then the complicated becomes from the bladder it goes on upwards to the ureters and kidneys. So these UTIs are caused by pathogens. An example could be the E. coli and others. Then what causes antimicrobial resistance? So what happens in the long run that people antibiotics are used to treat UTIs. So if I find out that me as a layman or as a common person who has no program knowledge about or the medical knowledge about UTIs treatment, I only know I have a general knowledge that UTIs are treated by antibiotics. So when I go to a facility, I'll just tell the doctor. Sometimes I may even not tell him what I seek of, but I'll just ask for the antibiotics. Or sometimes I may go, they do a checkup and they find that my results are positive. Yes, I have a UTI, and they give me the antibiotics. But remember at this stage that they didn't ask me for if I've ever had UTIs. They didn't ask me for, in case I've had, what antibiotics was I on, or what were the effects, or what were the results of the treatment phase during that time to start a new one right now. So what they do, they're just going to start a new treatment plan with either different antibiotics or the same antibiotic I was on. So assuming that my body was initially I was on I've forgotten the name. I was on one antibiotic that is used to treat UTIs, but then I finished the dose, but then I didn't get healed. So after some time, I go back and check, and I'm still positive. I may not tell the doctor that I was once on a treatment of UTIs before, and the doctor may not ask me, so they will just prescribe. So in case they give me an antibiotic that I've been on before, that is going to which I was resistant to because I finished the dose but I didn't get healed. Then I start another one, same process. So in the end you find that the body becomes resistant to that drug or that treatment plan. And that is what is termed as antimicrobial resistance. So what causes that? A common cause is excessive and unnecessary use of antibiotics. Because right now when you go to any clinic, any pharmacy, you have an infection, you have a UTI, they just prescribe. They don't know history, they don't know anything they've been having before. They don't ask me, so they just prescribe. So they just give me medicine and that way. But what is the impact of this of me being resistant to these pathogens? One, it could be failure of standard treatment. So you fail this one, they put you on another drug. You fail that one, they put you on another drug. So in the long run, you fail to be on the standard treatment procedure. And then we have longer duration of treatment. Remember, if I don't heal, they continue my treatment until I get healed. And then we have high medical costs. So we know that the more days you spend in a hospital, this time you may not be a hospital because you may not be bedridden. If it's uncomplicated, or even if it's complicated, you may not be bedridden, but will incur costs. You'll find that if I've been on a drug that costs 500 per tablet, then they refer me to another drug that costs 1000 per tablet, but still they have to give me the same dose or the same number of tablets. So in the long run, the costs are going to be high. And then we have increased mortality. So this is leading to a higher chance of people dying because sometimes even clinicians or health workers may fail to know that you've been resistant to this and this drug. And maybe because I'm not getting healed because of me being resistant, but them will continue prescribing. So in the end, if I have a complicated disease, I may end up dying because of that. So our problem statement are going to be predicting the likelihood of antimicrobial resistance with uncomplicated UTIs using the planning techniques, which are considered as black boxes. So we shall have our deep learning model to give you data for it to predict for us, and then we shall have an explainer, so for example, in the shop that will explain that due to this, due to your age, due to your previous antibiotic treatment, due to your previous medical history, you're resistant to antibiotic 1 or you're non-resistant to it. And then the user will of course make a decision based on the explanation that the model has provided. And then our research objectives, we are mainly focusing on data engineering and feature extraction of antimicrobial resistance in UTIs. And then we shall be able to get and evaluate more sorted deep learning models to predict antimicrobial resistance in UTIs as well. And then we shall examine future importance of interaction patterns for predicting antimicrobial resistance using explainable AI techniques. In the narrow research contributions, we shall be able to develop and assemble deep learning models to mimic real-world clinical scenarios. Remember this time around, we are stepping in as a clinician, so we are sure our model is like a doctor. I give it my data, my medical history, and it tells me whether I'm resistant to, whether I have a likelihood of being resistant to antibiotic 1 or antibiotic 2 or not. Just like you do to a hospital. And then we shall be able to apply XAI techniques, such as explainable AI techniques, such as integrated gradients and deep lift, etc. And then we shall create a comprehensive clinical decision support. This will include visualizations that may provide personalized treatment recommendations beyond just interpretability. Because yes, I'm going to give you my data and then you explain to me that daphne is likely to be resistant to antibiotic 1. But then in the end, me as an end user, I need to see something other than you just telling me. So give me a visualization of where you think it's at. If it's medical history, give me something like a linear trend of what you're explaining, because pictures speak more than words. And then our methodology, we shall have our data collection or data acquisition, and then we shall pre-process the data. We shall go on to build our models, and then we shall evaluate our models, and then apply XAI techniques on those models. And then we shall pick out the best models during the evaluation process. And then for dataset description, we're using the AMR UTI dataset. This comprises of 81,885 patients It was collected in the years of 2007 to 2016, and this comes already split as a training set and a test set. So the AMR UTI dataset mainly focuses on uncomplicated UTIs. That's why in the title it's uncomplicated UTIs, not just UTIs. So in our training set we have about 3,006 to 9 patients with uncomplicated UTIs. And then in our test set we have 10,053 patients with uncomplicated UTIs, meaning the rest that are not were complicated UTIs. So the test set was in the years of 2007 2013, then the test set was in the years of 2014 to 2016. So the data set was collected under different criteria. They considered age, I think that was like, 18 to 55, 45, 18, 55. Then there were females only, so we shall be using female data. And then other criteria that haven't listed or showed in the presentation. Thank you so much.